We've gone from inflation to gas prices to now tiny tortillas. It's now the #1 issue when it comes to Republicans when they're trying to deflect from what's actually going on, especially since just on Thursday in prime time, the January 6th hearings with evidence and new footage and information and witnesses began to get rolled out. So Arizona Representative Andy Biggs decided to make this point again. You heard me right, tortillas, watch.
They don't want you talking about, hey, the size of that pack of tortillas that I just bought last week before it came out. They used to look like the regular corn tortillas. Now they look like mini tortillas. Same price, the same packaging. They don't want you talking about that. They don't want you talking about, hey kids, we're not gonna be able to go on vacation this year. They don't want you talking about any of that because that's what Americans are talking about.
That's what Americans are talking about. You know what? What I'm upset is that my quarter pounder with cheese was just under a quarter pounder. I took it home and I put on a weight. And I was like, this is not a quarter pounder anymore. You know my bags of Doritos? They used to have the old orange top. Now it's red. I'm so tired of this. It used to be 12 ounces, now it's 11.5. This is ridiculous. When is somebody gonna do something about this? Is the question that Andy Biggs wants to know. So a little more details. He's one of a number of Republicans who the committee identified, this is why he's talking about this, as taking part in discussions with former President Donald Trump and were, quote, involved in the planning and coordination of certain activities on and before the January 6th riot. Far-right activist Ali Alexander, who organized the Stop the Steal campaign that rallied behind Trump's false 2020 election claims, painted Biggs as instrumental in pulling the effort together, is what the Arizona Republic reported. What they did cut off from the rest of his quote was that he makes a mean burrito, but the tortillas are too small now. This is a problem for everybody. I don't even think they're even trying to be serious anymore. It's just to fill a little bit of time.
Chair, I'd love to talk more about tortillas, but I don't want anybody talking about them. I don't want anybody talking about the mini tortillas, okay? Because if they start talking about the mini tortillas, we're cooked. Democrats are in a lot of trouble. Okay, now let's break it down. First of all, Biggs, not only was he apparently involved in the January 6th riot planning, but he is alleged to be one of the Republican congressmen that asked Trump for a pardon before Trump left office. Then what do you need a pardon for, big guy? That means Biggs knows for a fact that he broke the law. And so when you broke the law and they are having January 6th hearings, and you go, the January 6th hearings, I mean, about the coup and destroying American democracy, unimportant. Mini tortillas, very important. They're trying to destroy, don't look at my crimes. No, not important. Mini tortillas, really important.
They tried to overthrow democracy. We've failed to consider the tortillas ridiculous. By the way, over the past 2 months, if we want to talk about inflation, they're not talking about how core CPI has steadily declined over the past 2 months. And I get it, like shrinkflation is a problem, but our corporation's hurting. Like, is this a sign that our economy is not doing well? I don't think so in this case. They're doing this to reduce production costs. They're trying to sell less product and increase their profit margins. It is a big problem, of course, but many things can be true at once. We can also talk about the attempt to violently overturn a democratic election. We know that the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers whose members have been found guilty of seditious conspiracy. Now we have more testimony and evidence showing that Trump really led that movement, and we're not distracting people by not talking about inflation. You're distracting the American public by making a conversation about the overthrow of democracy about mini tacos. That's the real distraction here.
No, please. I caught you, Jessica. You're doing that trick again. You said tacos, not tortillas, because you don't want the American people talking about mini tortillas, okay? I caught you. Okay, so look, guys, both sides do absurd things. In this case, it's true. Both sides of them is often wrong, but in this case, it's right. Claire McCaskill's on TV going, Mitch McConnell's just talking about inflation because he wants to distract from the January 6th hearings. No, inflation is a real issue, right? And Jessica just talked about it and told you the context of that issue, right? But it's a real issue. And all the Republicans are like, no, they don't want you talking about inflation. They're trying to distract you with us trying to end democracy. No, that's also a real issue. Those are big, giant issues. Those are not at all distractions. There are distractions like critical race theory, trans girls on high school teams. There's 7 of them in the entire country.
Caravans of migrants coming up.
Yeah, and apparently mini tortillas. But you know what? I'm going to put Andy Biggs' mind at ease. If you want to talk about mini tortillas going forward, Andy and all the rest of you right wingers, have at it, Hoss. And if anybody gives you trouble, I pardon you. Talk about tortillas all day long. You're free now. We live in a free country.
Andy Biggs is the chair of the tortilla hearing that's gonna start on Monday because it's the most thing that most Americans are talking about. By the way, I'm not sure if he does his own shopping. We talk about Donald Trump doing his own shopping. Tortillas come in different sizes, bro. They come in large and they come in taco size. They come in different sizes.
There's no way he knows that. The idiot probably bought the wrong one. He's like, what happened to my tortilla? They shark. Honey, who sharked my tortilla? And she's like, it was the Democrats. He's like, I knew it. I knew it. The Democrats sharked my tortilla.